Okay, so I'm ready to share my channel with my students in Canvas. I'm going to come in stream to my content, select channels, and then I'm going to find the channel that I want to share with my kids. We're going to pretend that this is First Core Unit 1 channel here. I want to just select one that had videos for you to see. I'm going to come down to these three dots in the bottom right corner. I'm going to select share. You have two options. The first one is to share a link, which would take the students outside of Canvas. Definitely better to embed it directly in Canvas so the students can watch it without having to leave Canvas. I want to, before I copy this, I want to change a couple of things. First, I want it to be sorted by publish date. The most recent video will come up first, which will help students access the most recent material. And then I also do want to change this to responsive, and that means that the student's device, the size of the student's device will dictate how this shows up on the page, which will help them be able to see everything on their device. I'm going to click here where it says copy to copy this embed code, and then I'm going to stroll over to Canvas. There are multiple ways that you can get this to students. Really do whatever works best for you and your workflow. One option is an assignment. So I'm going to click on assignments. I'm going to create a new assignment. I'm going to name, thank you, Canvas. I'm going to name this First Core Unit 1 Video Recordings. I am going to give my students a note that they have to be signed in to Zscaler and Microsoft. Sometimes if students are not signed in, it's going to give them like an unhappy face. So definitely want to give them those instructions to make sure that they're signed in. Down here below the rich content editor, I'm going to click on this little HTML icon so that I can drop in the code that I have copied from Microsoft Stream. So I'm going to come back down and click on that HTML code. It just kind of lets me see what it will look like for kiddos. And you'll see it has them in order by how many views they have. So I'm going to scroll on down, and I don't want this assignment to be graded. So I'm going to make sure that it says not graded. Typically it comes up with points. So I'm going to change it to not graded. That way, it's not showing up in my grade book and it's not asking students for anything. I'm going to change from saying that it's assigned to everyone to only my First Core students. So I'm going to start typing in First Core, and then I'm going to select First Core, and then there's no due date. It's available all the time. And I'm going to hit save and publish, because remember, they can't see it if we don't publish it. It's going to say, hey, did you mean to give this to everybody? And no, I didn't. I only wanted to go to First Core. So I'm going to hit continue. And then so that I give my students ease of access, well, let me show you first what the students will see whenever they pull it up. They'll click on the video, they'll see whatever the video is. When you're done, you can click the X button to go back to your other videos. Students can't download these. They can go to stream by clicking here and watch them in stream, but they don't have to do that, and they don't have any really more options once they go to stream. So for ease of access for my students, I'm going to come back to the home, and I am going to edit this home page. I'm going to come to the bottom where I have additional, and this was from another example, so I'm going to take this out. Our other cool stuff, here's where I'm going to add the course link to that assignment for my First Core Unit 1 video recordings. So my students just have to click there. Now, if my second core clicks on that, it's just going to tell them they don't have access to it. Let's say, though, in a crazy world that they do have access to it, Stream is not going to allow them to see it because they're not part of that group. So you kind of have a double fail-safe to keep students out of videos that they shouldn't be having access to. If you need to add more options down below here to add Unit 2, Unit 3, you can add more rows to add that information. And then we make sure, of course, as always, hit save for our changes to take effect.